Hey everybody, I'm down here in the lower corner lounging around with a fan here on my face. It's a warm, muggy day. We had thunderstorm and high humidity day. And of course our air conditioner's broken. I'm waiting for the AC guy to come. So in today's little merch talk show, Margaret and I were talking about distressing objects and things in Illustrator. And it really is not that hard to do. And I mean, with everything, there's a learning curve. So I'm going to do a quick video here and show you how I distress in Illustrator. It's not the only way. There's many ways. It may not be the right way. Whatever. It's the way I do it. First thing I do is I have these vector distress textures. There's 4 here. I'll click one here. You can see me move it there. These were free, royalty free, and free of charge from retrovectors.com. So you can get them there. I'll check the licenses on them if they mind if I gave them away with their credit. If I can, I'll post them on my website or I'll post a link to them down below in the YouTube video. But these are 4 different vectorized, meaning you can resize them and they won't lose any resolution in Illustrator or in Inkscape, which is the free Illustrator Lite thingy. But always go for the original Illustrator. So these are vectors and they're different textures. And I usually use this one here, or I usually use this one here. Depends on what I'm in the mood for. And I hate when I double click and it goes into that mode. 1 second, let's back out of it. Okay. So we're going to first go to my blank page here, and I'm going to create a simple object. This is for if you have one object, one path. Let's just get a circle. Let's make it red. And I'm just going to draw a oval, circle here. Boom. So if you have a simple object like that, a complex object might be like text. And I'll show you what you do with text next. But if you want to vector or you want to distress this object, what you'll do is you go to your textures and we'll grab this one, drag it, hover it over that tab, and then drag it down. Or for you people that don't use a tab, I use a tablet. If you see down here in the corner, I have a tablet. I haven't used a mouse in 10 years, but you're clicking, holding, your left click, holding, dragging it, and then once you get it in here and release. We want to texturize the whole thing, so we're going to make this about the size of the circle. A little secret, if you want to resize it in proportion, you can hold the shift button down and grab one of the corners, and it will keep the sides in the right proportion. That way, and everything stays equal. So anyway, we want to make sure it's on top as well. If you just drag it in, it most likely is on the top layer. You can go over here to the layers palette. You can see the texture is on top of my object. If it's not, you can go up to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, and we'll make sure it's on the top. And now you want to click and drag and select both items at the same time. Or you can hit Command A, or I think on PC it's Control A, and that selects everything. If you have more than the 2 objects, you don't want to select everything, but you do want to select. You can even go in, select the circle. Oops, yeah, we're selecting the circle, and then hold down the Shift key, and then select your texture. So now we have both items selected. There's 3 different ways to do it there. And then you want to have your Pathfinder palette here. If you don't see the Pathfinder palette, you can go to Window and then go down to Pathfinder and click it so it's checked off. And I'll remove it here so you can see with the Pathfinder. I can't make it bigger. That's the Pathfinder palette. And what we're interested in is this one right here with the 2 squares, 1 solid, 1 outline. And if you hover it, it says minus front. What that's going to do is it's going to subtract the front from the back object. So you click that, and it thinks, does through it, And there we go. It is now vectorized. I had stroke on here. I'm going to take the stroke off because there we go. Still get the stroke on? Yeah. Click stroke. And so, no stroke. There we go. Take the stroke off. So now you can see we've distressed the object. And then you can take it over into your t-shirt. And whatever you want to do. There's our t-shirt. Let's see what that looks like on a black t-shirt. Distressed dot on a black t-shirt. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's go back to our page. I'm going to delete that. Now a complex object is like text. There's a couple extra steps you have to want to do in text. I'm going to do something here. Make it a little bigger. Let's find a font that's a little thicker. There we go. We got boobs. So we want to texturize, distress our boobs. We want distressed boobs. Now, this is a font here. We need to first convert it into outlines. And I'm not an expert. I don't know what it does. But the easiest way is to right-click it. You say Create Outlines, and then boom. So it's vectorized, and it's still one object. You can actually go to Object Expand, or Object Ungroup. Whoops, click it. Object Ungroup, and now it's actually individual letters. But we don't want that, because if we try to texturize that, it's going to, well, I can show you what it does. Let's make this a different color. And we'll go back with the red there. Let's bring in our texture. Let's use this one over here this time. And if we're going to size it, size of the letters. And so now if we click and drag over everything, so we got both the word, all the letters, and the texture selected. But now if we do that, because it's individual letters, it's going to only do one letter. See? So what we want to do is we're going to go Command Z to go back. I'm going to take my texture. Whoop. I want just my texture. Come on, pinwheel of death. Just my texture. What's it doing? Command Z again. There we go. Just my texture. I'm going to move it out of the way. And then I'm going to click and select the letters. And then I'm going to make the letters into a single compound path. So you click Object, Compound Path, Make. And you can see over here on our palette now, it's just one compound path now. Now we can take our texture and go over our boobs there. And now we want to make sure we got the texture selected. And here's another way to select something else. You can go over here, you can hit the Shift key, and next to your compound path for your letters, you can click right there, and now it's selected. All the blue dots are all the parts that are selected. So now we can hit minus front. Do 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 do. Now it's done. Now we can take that, we can drag it over to our t-shirt. And we have our t-shirt with the distressed text. There's other ways to do it. I know people use brushes in Photoshop. I like this way. I have a lot more vector textures that I use, but the minus front can be used for so many different things. You also have the two solid squares to combine two objects. You do the same thing. You overlay two objects, you hit that button, and it combines them. So those two tools are very, very useful. So that's about it. And that's how I distress objects for my t-shirts. And like I said, I'll go back here. You can get these 4 textures for free at retrovectors.com. I'll put a link down in the video down below where you can grab those. There's no reason for me to put them on my website. There's no affiliate for it or anything like that. They're royalty free and free of charge. So, and this is, like a stucco wall. I mean, this is a really busy one. But, and if you think the dots are too small, you can enlarge it. That's one reason I love vectors, is because you can make it as big as you want with no loss in quality. Now, enlarging these vectors, if you have low amounts of RAM, slow computer can slow things down. But, yeah, it's great. We can just take this. You can combine 2 vectors in a while. Let's take this one. Let's go back, drag it to the boobs. Now, the only thing that will happen is if you happen to have some, I don't see it happening here, spots that opened up. There it is. Let's just drag it up like that. So, and you can do it multiple times. So we're going to select, it's selected right now. We're going to add the boobs to the selection, and we're going to hit the minus front again. So you can do that as many times as you want. Yeah, my RAM's being used up. I'm going to have to free it up a bit. Yeah, to me, it's quicker and easier this way rather than doing a brush. You can use a brush to... Oh, what'd that do? There must have been a little... When it does that, it means that there's a little dot separated from the rest of the boobs. So let's unselect the text. So what you have to do is go back and do that, create a path. So somewhere in here is a little dot of red, isolated. So we're going to select everything there, make a compound path again, so it'll make everything there into one object again. And we're going to take the texture, put it up there, select the text again with the texture, and then hit it again. And then we're going to sing Jeopardy. Do, 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 do. Nice tea kind of day. Come on, puppy, don't freeze on me. Here we go, almost done. There was a lot of dots in here, so that's why it's taking longer. There was a lot of information. Vectors is all mathematics, so there's a lot of math to be done there. Better the computer than me. After this is done, we're going to end the video. So that's all I wanted to do is show you, and there we go. Even more distressed boobs. So that's it. That's a quick and easy on how to distress simple objects and more complex objects. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. I'll do my best to answer them. And I have a couple other videos going to be coming up later. We're going to do some text effects and curving text. And I'm going to show you my spreadsheet. So we got a couple videos coming up this week. Sorry it's been so long. So until next time, hope you sell lots of shirts. Hope you have a great day. And remember to choose to be happy. See ya. Now I gotta find that off button.